just don't know. I don't know. I'm looking, yeah.
Marc Clarke, that's classic. I love it.
Delicious beverage?
Duh.
Preparing students to demonstrate mastery of math state standards can feel like a dull, unending cycle of equations and practice problems. Unengaged, frustrated students can weigh on teacher confidence and lead to uncertainty about overall achievement. Two Ivy League-trained engineers observed this struggle and created a way to transform how students learn the fundamentals of math. Through the innovative Accoletics math program, EDA has helped more than 400,000 students achieve success on state-administered math tests and transformed the academic strategies and performance of schools nationwide. Accoletics' uniquely designed supplemental materials and tools are well aligned to your state standards and provide a clear path to exceed state proficiency standards. Through ongoing professional development, you will uncover common challenges and activate solutions that promise to improve student achievement in your school. By partnering with EDA and choosing Accoletics, you can start to see an unprecedented return on your investment in as little as one school year. Don't procrastinate on giving your teachers the tools to help students achieve their highest math potential. To learn how you can dramatically improve classroom instruction and learning, test scores, and student confidence, call, email, or visit Accoletics online today.
And welcome to the show. It's another exciting Friday, Bootsy Vegas. It's Friday.
Yes, it is. TGIF, my brother.
Yes, TGIF. We had an amazing week, Bootsy Vegas. I want to thank you, my brother. Yesterday, as we wrapped up the show, I think we had a moment that we hadn't had before. Yes. You missed it with J.L. Michaels. This is what happened.
I didn't think I was going to make it. I, honest to God, didn't think I was going to make it because of everything that's going on. But when I look back over my life and I see all those things and where I started, because it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And I look at where I'm at today, man. Listen, Mark and Bootsy, I could be on here all day with y'all talking about this, man.
Well, Mike, look, I got, Mike, we have not done this before, Bootsy, but I got to make it happen. Michael, you got to give us a little word now. I know some people on this day, for whatever reason, feel like they're in the valley. They feel like they're not making any headroom. They're fighting.
I do.
They feel like they're drowning. They know that God got them, but they need a little encouragement to help them understand that in those moments, right when you feel like you can't go on, it's right then that the blessing is coming. Michael, as we wrap things up, give us a nice little prayer for those people as we head into the weekend to get over that hump for us, Michael, while we wrap things up.
Absolutely. Let me say this to you all, who's ever watching this broadcast under the sound of our voice. If God did it before, I promise you, he can do it again. But not only will he do it again, he will do it better than he did it the first time. Dear God, in the name of Jesus, Father, thank you for this day, God. Thank you for this hour, God. Thank you for this opportunity, God. Thank you for the connection, God. Thank you for allowing another way for your voice to be heard, God, over these airways. On today, God, we want to come, first of all, lifting you up, giving your name all the honor, glory, and praise. At the end of the day, God, it is you. This is how we make it. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even be here. And God, I ask on today that you would touch, God, that you would heal, that you would touch, set free, deliver, cure, God, people in the name of Jesus. There are some folks walking around right now who don't feel like they're worthy, God. Touch them. Remind them you created them. You made them something special, God. It is only one of them. They are unique and they are loved by you, even though they may not be loved by anyone else, God. They are loved by you, God. God, I ask you to save. There are some people walking around like they just don't matter, God. And please remind them, God, that they matter to you. God, I ask you to move in a multitude of ways. You know every single thing we need, God. Every single thing we got. You know every single concern, God. You know where we hurt. God, you know we're doing well. You know we're not doing so well. God, touch us in every single area in our lives, God. And I pray on today that you would touch this ministry, God, because I'm formally calling the ministry, God, that Marc and Bootsy have, God. Use them, God, like they've never been used before, God. Bless them with creativity they didn't even know they had, oh God. God, touch people who did not otherwise hear of this show and bring them to them, God, so that they might hear your message, God, through them and whatever it is they do. And God, now we come to you just saying thank you again because you are that good always and forever, God. It's in your precious name, God, that I lift these prayers up to you. It's in Jesus' name, Lord, we seal it. Amen.
Okay, that spontaneous moment happened, and I'm telling you, Bootsy, we talked off air about opportunities that are coming our way in our personal lives and just in general. And it's a great reminder because in those moments when you feel like you are on the edge, I'm just amazed, and it's happened so many times. I just have to testify because it's so much so, Bootsy. I almost just be like, I'm almost arrogant, and I know that things are going to be okay. And right. You know what I mean? And so again, JL was amazing. Michael was amazing, and
the crazy thing is, we didn't even know he had that. Well, I'm gonna say we didn't know. I didn't see none of that coming. We had a great fashion, uplifting conversation, and then it transformed all the way to that. That was amazing.
You know what? Look at that. Carla said, I receive it in Jesus. Yes, receive it, girl. It's the weekend. Now, Bootsy, once again, your mic is tripping. You might have to come on and come back off, or you can wait and just see how it goes, because we have up next, Bootsy. It's Friday, and let me tell you something. We have some delicious food. We're about to see an amazing chef. She's got a little taste of the islands. She's got a little taste of paradise. Oh Lord, not a taste of paradise. Bootsy, you ain't ready. Now, I have not, after the Veguary challenge, I have yet to rip into some animal meat, but I'm telling you, Chef Lesa got some stuff for us, Bootsy, but she also has a vegan option. So without any further ado, man, are you yardy? All the way from Jamaica.
That's pretty impressive.
A taste of paradise. Chef Lesa joins us. Chef, what's going on?
Good morning. Good morning.
Chef got the flag.
Okay, now.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Can you see me?
Yes, we can, Chef, and we can see that delicious food. First of all, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're getting us ready for the weekend. We had a great week, and you are the cherry on top. Man, you are the plantain on top. You are the curry goat on top.
Wow, look at that. Look at that spread. Hey,
wow.
Anytime we got a spread that look that good, Mark, we need to do it in person. We don't need to be doing this virtual, bro. We need to be in person.
Down. Chef Lisa's down for having us in person one day.
Jeez, yes, I'm ready. I'm down.
All right, Chef Lesa, I'm looking at the calendar. I'm looking at a Friday. We're going to do it live from the spot, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Jeez, that looks amazing.
So, Chef Lesa, before we get into your food, which is amazing, tell us about yourself. Tell us about Taste of Paradise. and I see that you are repping Jamaica heavy. So go ahead.
Yes, yes. So good morning again. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity that you have given me to showcase and discuss my foods. I am Chef Lesa Morris from the DMV area. I've been cooking for over 30 years. Had no choice but to start early because of my upbringing. Watching my mom, she had a little store in our front yard, and we just had to help out. So that, that's where I got started. And I specialize in authentic Jamaican cooking along with plant-based foods because my husband and daughter are vegan. So I
Oh,
cook.
you are speaking my language. You're speaking my language, Chef Lesa. Plant-based in Jamaica. Ooh, God bless.
Yes. So I have today jerk tofu.
Mm,
Who says plant-based food cannot be yummy, right?
right, right.
Hey.
In
It's
season.
yummy and
In
it's
season.
healthy. Tofu has a lot of protein in it.
Mm-hmm.
So right here I have a jerk crumble tofu with vegetables and top it off with a fresh lime. I squeeze a lime on top for good digestion. And also I have a garden salad that I made, fresh piece of lemon wedge on the side, and I made my dressing from scratch.
Wow.
Garlic, ginger with carrots and other spices in there. And my go-to agave for a little sweetener.
Oh, wow.
And Mark, right here we have fried plantain, cucumber. You can just dip it in with this dip. Also versatile.
Mm.
Ginger, fresh ginger, and turmeric. My go-to. I add it in all of my meat and juices,
Oh,
everything.
wow.
And
wow.
turmeric is good for inflation. Ginger, good for digestion. Curry chicken, rice and peas. You guys say rice and beans, rice and peas with cabbage.
My goodness.
And jerk chicken. This morning I oven baked this because I didn't have time to put it on the grill like I normally do. And I have a sauce that I made on the side, but I kind of pour it on top of it for a little moisture. And Rasta pasta.
Oh,
Rasta is
Rasta.
vegetarian pasta. It's vegan friendly also. And I made my sauce from scratch. Top it with some fresh vegetables. And what else do we have? Immune booster to get you started in the morning. Drink a cup of this every day.
Now, what is that, Lesa?
What I have in there: cucumber, lemon, fresh lemon and lime, agave syrup, and what else did I put in here? What else did I put in here? I'm sorry. I don't remember. What else did I put in here? Fresh ginger. Fresh ginger. I'm sorry, ginger. So ginger, turmeric, fresh lemon juice, lime juice with coconut water.
Wow.
And so, Chef Lesa, and nowadays everything's a trend. Now you got turmeric gummy bears, you got ginger this, you got this and that. In Jamaican culture, which I love, by the way.
Me
and
too.
I'm gonna tell you a side note. The reason I love Jamaican culture so much is because when I was first starting out, my first vacation, I was working in Huntsville, Alabama, Bootsy. I was the program director, the morning man, the production director.
Boy,
I was making $14.5.
Breaking the bank.
14.5, as everybody else on the staff was. By the way, Olivia Fox was my midday person.
Breaking the bank.
Chef Lesa, I fly to Jamaica. Now, in Montego Bay, if you're familiar with Montego Bay, Chef Lesa, I'm a little older than you probably, but there was this hotel. It was a big pink hotel. It was cheap. It didn't have any amenities. It was no frills, baby. Downtown Montego Bay. I stayed at that hotel. I was broke, Bootsy. And let me tell you what I love about Jamaica. You can eat off the streets. I had less than $100, and I was in Jamaica eating and enjoying myself, just simply going to the beach and eating, you know, some beef patties, you know, whatever. And also I love the people, you know, the beautiful language. Obviously the weather's crazy, but the people, I love the fact that, you know, so you ain't gonna outwork nobody. It's a joke, but people in Jamaica work, hunty. They be working, okay?
Right.
Also, the history, the part that blew me away, Chef Lesa, was the culture. Everybody knows history, not just history there, but American history too. They know world history. I guess it's the education system.
Yeah.
And
My
it was
husband,
like,
my husband.
and then And then lastly, the food. Amazing, healthy, natural, like you just mentioned, what you just said, which in your drink, which I'm sure you've been doing for years. That's all the rage now. It's all the trend now, but you've been familiar with the healing qualities of turmeric and ginger your whole life, right?
My whole life. Ginger tea, whatever was going on, we'll say, drink some tea, drink whatever it is, drink some tea, some ginger tea or mint tea, fresh mint. We grew that in our yard, the mint, you know.
Wow. Chef Lesa, I would love to ask you a question. So first of all, I think everything you got is amazing. Literally,
Thank
I wish
you.
I was there in person. I almost want to rub the screen. Can you break down what Rasta pasta is? Because I've been hearing recently. There's a Jamaican spot in Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast that has that. But can you just break down the origins and what's in Rasta pasta?
The name is new, but the concept isn't.
Okay.
It isn't. It's just pasta with vegetables and, fresh herbs and spices. Again, ginger, turmeric, coconut milk, whatever milk you have on hand, because my household is plant-based. So it's either almond milk or coconut milk, oat milk. You put all of that in there and blend it up. So, it's just pasta, with vegetables, basically.
Okay.
And the colors, you can add meat, you can add whatever
Absolutely.
proteins you want, on top of that, because the jerk tofu would pair very good with it, as a matter of fact.
I love
What's the key? What's the key to the jerk tofu? I know tofu takes on the flavor. I imagine the key is the seasoning. How do you break it down? How do you do it? Do you simmer it first? What do you do?
Tofu has a lot of juice in it, like water. So there's a tofu press that I press it out, take the water out, towel dry, paper towel, whatever you can use to have it dry. Then you season it. Fresh herbs, again, garlic, number one, ginger, turmeric. I grater it in there, and put your gloves on and you rub it up. Jerk seasoning. I use 2 different types of jerk seasoning. Sometimes I make it from scratch, but lately I've just been using the store-bought. But using the store-bought, it's a trick to it. You can't just use the store-bought because it would just be bland and flat. So I incorporated, again, a lot of my natural herbs and spices in there. They give it that nice flavor. Lemon juice or lime juice, squeeze it in there. Get a little frying pan or whatever pan you have on hand, a little bit of olive oil. We use olive oil or coconut oil. Get the pot hot to a certain, temperature. You pour the tofu in there. My daughter likes it crispy, so I kind of have, this little crisp. I don't know if you're able to see it. Crispy pieces, and that just brings out the flavor. And you can see the jerk seasoning in there. You see it?
Yep.
And that's how I do my jerk tofu. So people, they'll say, ew, tofu is nasty. No, it's not. Because when you have mine, you just keep ordering it,
Chef Lesa, I would love to know, when did the premise in your head begin to do Jamaican food and plant-based? Because I know they have a rich traditional history and curry and a lot of meats and whatever. When did you start developing or start having the concept to make a plant-based Jamaican alternative meal?
Okay. I am a pescatarian. My husband and daughter. My husband has always been a healthy eater. Not that I was never a healthy eater, but I was eating meat at the time. So eventually, because of weight, your health reason, gradually, slowly, and my daughter, it's been a year now for her. She started having like digestion problems. So she went pescatarian. It still didn't help. She started doing plant-based, and eventually, everything kind of slowed down. Her digestive system was easy, smooth going for plant-based. So that's one reason, for health reason. And my household, again, we've always been healthy eaters. And it's just like, since the pandemic started, a lot of people wanted to just like, they had a scare. So they were like, okay, hey, I know you do Jamaican food, but do you do plant-based? And I just started doing stuff, trial and errors. And I just started whipping up stuff. And now it's like, I have a few customers that went from eating regular meats and stuff. Now they're plant-based because
I love it.
The juice to them.
So do you think that there is a future in plant-based Jamaican dishes? Do you think that could possibly be a trend that could carry?
It's always been around. This is the Jamaican culture, as a matter of fact. We grew up like the Rastafarian. I had a brother that used to practice that. Callaloo without the sawfish, green banana, fried dumpling, plant-based. Ackee without the sawfish, that's plant-based. So this been around. It's just like it's been introduced now to people in the culture, but we've always, being Jamaican, just always been eating like that. So it's not new to me, actually.
Okay. So Chef Lisa, I kind of want to ask you a tough question here, whatever. Like, let me say this: if you certain questions you don't want to ask, feel free to say I don't have an opinion. So
feel free to cuss them out if you want to. You can cuss them out if you want to.
We actually call it ITAL food. I don't know if you heard that term, ITAL food. And it's been around forever.
Yeah.
Okay. So how deep are you into the Jamaican reggae culture music scene? Because this couple of weeks there's been some stories coming out. I would love to know your perspective on it. How deep are you into it?
I'm not that deep, to be honest with you. I'm just like my daughter is. She would be able to answer. So you can go and ask, and she will be able to answer that, because I'm just like Bob Marley, Barry Salmon, smooth and soft, not the young, not the younger crowd like Vibes Cartel and stuff. I'm not into all of that. Just regular
free vibes cartel, free vibes.
Well, Lisa, first of all, shout out to your daughter. Is she your camera person?
Yes. She is the media person.
Okay. Did you want to get on camera so we can see her lovely face?
Yeah, because she's doing an amazing job. I just want you to know that.
She's in the marketing field, but she's not ready, because I really wanted her to, to talk, because she would be perfect to speak on the music, because she knows.
Well, what's her name, Lisa?
It's Neffy.
Okay, we'll have Neffy on next time with you. So Lisa, what I noticed about, again, the way you plated the food, the colorful, the colorful, all your vegetables and your fruits are so colorful. Again, is that just what you do? You've been doing it for so long, you know how to pick out the best fruits and vegetables. I mean, it looks like a television commercial.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I'm so humbled. And yes, it is, as a matter of fact. You do not want to be in the grocery store waiting on me to pick out fruits and vegetables. I've had several people said, "Oh my God, are you finished?" Because I have to pick it up, look at it. We have to inspect it. We can't just go in the store and just pick it up and just put it in your bag. No. So yes.
It does come natural for her. Like
it does come natural.
She can honestly make about anything. And then I'm not just saying that because she's my mom. Like, I'm always just kind of like taken away by her natural ability to just see something and then recreate it. Like, she is just genius when it comes to cooking. The other day, she made a vegan orange vanilla cake. Really amazing. The variety. She made fried mushrooms the other day.
Can y'all adopt me, please? Jeez.
I know. Damn. Neffy, since you're in, go ahead and ask the musical question, Bootsy. Neffy's talking.
Yeah, I'm just behind camera right now because I wanted her to shine,
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, first things first, Neffy, you have an amazing voice. We don't know what you look like, but your voice is amazing, and you probably should be doing some media things as well. Me and Mark.
I'll send you my LinkedIn. I look like a human being, but it's morning time, so I'm just letting her shine.
No problem.
Thank you. That is confirmation.
Yes.
Manages my business. Yes.
Oh wow. Well, as you know, Neffy, this week, the Grammy Award for the best reggae band went to a white reggae band from Jamaica. A lot of the traditional reggae artists have been going off, and then some people have been coming to the defense or whatever. I would love to know, what is your thoughts on that? Because I saw a few people say, well, reggae music is an indigenous music from Jamaica. I mean, there's no way that people who are not from Jamaica or not from the reggae scene should be winning Grammys. I would love to know your whole thoughts and perspective on that. Do you think it's cool for other people and other nationalities to take into the culture and win awards?
Yeah, absolutely. I personally, a lot of people, well, I guess you have to look at the Grammys and like how they select music. They have their own criteria that they use. I personally wouldn't select someone that is not rooted in the culture. I'm not saying that you can't be from Jamaica and practice reggae music, but from the perspective, I do envision those individuals that, grew up in the culture, that, are birthed from it. I envision those as the ideal people that can represent the culture. So again, not to say that the group that won, isn't doing a good job at reggae music, because reggae music is one of the most, globally renowned genres. So people all over the world are tied to it. But when I do want to see representation, you ideally want to see people who you can relate with. And for me, honestly, it is those peoples that are rich from the culture, that are birthed into it, that have been engraved in it. That's just my perspective. This is not to downplay anyone's ability.
No, I understand.
You have, white Jamaica is the most diverse island. They say out of one, many, but I love to see representation based off of those people that are actually from the culture, that, grow up in it, that, are accustomed to it. I'm not saying those people aren't, but when I look at representation, it's those people that I can relate to. That's just my opinion. But
no, yeah. I love it because that I'm sorry, Malcolm. There's an old saying where it says, "It's not where you from, it's where you at." And I'm always fascinated on people who are from Jamaica who know the struggle and know the music. How do they take it? I deal with that as a go-go musician, seeing other people win awards off go-go music that are not necessarily from the DMV or DC area or even included. But I was surprised on how many reggae artists and people in Jamaica were really, really upset about the fact that a white reggae group from Virginia won. So I was always fascinated on people who are really connected.
Did you say from Virginia?
Yes. Now, let me tell you the story about them.
Wait a minute, Bootsy.
Didn't I just say that people who are that are birthed from the culture, that's a little troubling. Like you said, with the go-go music, who knows go-go music like someone from the DMV, right?
Right.
A white reggae group from Virginia won for reggae.
Okay, so I'm gonna break it down. The group is called Soldier, and essentially they are a go-go reggae group that came together in I'm not lying. They came together in the 90s. I've known them forever. They are all Caucasian, and some of them are biracial. But what I will say about them is the fact that I believe they have been sincere in the fact that they just connect with that music. Even with hip hop and all genres of music. I mean, when we really break it down, black folks made all music, and it is now expanded. But because reggae music does not always get the necessarily national attention, a lot of people felt that they should just keep it to the people who organically live it and experience it. But yes, it was a group named Soldier Sunday that won the best reggae album, and they beat a lot of traditional reggae lifelong artists, and people were thoroughly upset about it this week.
Lord Jesus, but that's going to be another show and we're going to have Neffy on, because I think at the end of the day, just like any group that has been, at the end of the day, the Grammys never have really been inclusive and represented everybody.
Right.
And as the body that's judging the art, because it wasn't, and it's finally getting there, there's just a whole bunch of baggage they got to deal with. But back to Chef Lesa.
Funny fact, though. I'm sorry, Mark. Funny fact before I jump off. Bob Marley never won a Grammy. So just think about that. The greatest representation of reggae music. He actually lost to Eric Clapton in his rendition of I Shot the Sheriff. Yeah. So I'm going to show you that has been a traditional thing that has happened to reggae artists.
And as Chef Lesa will know, there are a lot of people in Jamaica who said Bob Marley was not representative of reggae. But anyway, in Jamaica.
Wow.
In Jamaica. I'm saying in Jamaica. I only say that because when we broadcast from Jamaica when I was a young man, again, I brought my guitar, I brought my Bob Marley Legend book. I was learning the songs, and a couple of the older gentlemen were like, "Man." I was like, "What?" But anyway.
Everyone's gonna have it. It's just like how they say, like, Drake isn't a rapper. It's just because people from different eras and generations, like they're just used to a certain type, and when they see it evolve, they just don't know how to really I would say evolve with it. So they say, hey, like they're used to their heroes from when they were little. So Bob Marley came and transitioned all that, and it's like, nah, like we can't move with him. So but
and like you said, Neffy, just like Drake though, in a sense. Bob Marley's, because because of whatever, because of his look, his everything, the way he caused an explosion here in the U.S., you can't take that away from that, right? So, but anyway, that's evolution.
But hip hop actually started with Jamaicans in the Bronx. Just fun fact.
So. You better think about it.
Neffy, I'm with you. What I realized was, and we don't talk about it a lot. They talk about it on the we talk about it a little bit, but number one, New York and hip hop, that's where we say it starts. But like you said, the reality is everybody that started it was from the island. So and that tradition in the islands with the sound systems and stuff, they brought that with them.
They love their sound.
but also the greatest rapper is Biggie, and he's Jamaican.
Oh yeah.
So think about that as well.
Oh, and that's a conversation that has to be a movie because it's so true. But anyway, back to Chef Lesa. Chef's like, wait a minute, what about my chicken?
Exactly. That's why I was like, I'm not coming on. It's her show.
So Chef, I have a couple just simple questions. Number one, the chicken, the meats. When you talk about the meats in Jamaican dishes, you never have to worry about it being undercooked. It always seems like the meat falls off the bone, super seasoned. Why is that, Chef Lesa?
Because we literally put our foot in it. So we don't put our foot in it, but I'm just saying. We wash it, clean it,
Okay, wait a minute. Stop. Lesa. Chef Lesa, stop right there. We can finally put it to rest from a pro. Okay, Chef Lesa, do you or do you not wash your chicken before you cook it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lemon, fresh lime, and mainly lime and vinegar. I use both. If I don't have lime, I have the lemon and I use it with the vinegar. You have to. We have to. We grew up seeing our parents doing that. So family members, you have to. But in the culinary world, to be honest with you, with my training, it's not required, which is odd to me. When I took the class, I was like, are you serious? But
well, let me just say this, guys. You don't know this about me, but I just got my food handler's license again. It really is, and Chef Lesa, you know this. At the end of the day, what they're talking about is cross-contaminating the kitchen, and so that's the part in the comments that everybody has. That's the part that people kind of leave out. They just talk about if you're washing your chicken, then you definitely have to then clean, bleach with all the surfaces you're dealing with, including the sink. And like you said, Chef Lesa, in our culture, in America, Big Mama, and yours in Jamaica, the nanas, they knew that. So they weren't going to just be washing, they weren't going to just splashing around chicken blood everywhere. They had a technique that they used. So it's a deeper conversation, right? But like you said, in your culture, you're saying the seasoning, the washing and the seasoning are kind of as one. It's kind of like a part of the process. The lemon and the lime and the different seasonings.
The vinegar.
Okay, so, and is that with all the meats?
With all meats, even tofu, I rinse it off with vinegar. And my daughter look at me, but she knows with everything, my fruits and vegetables. I mean, it's just forever. We've been doing that. Yeah, that's what I do. I rinse everything off.
And Chef Lesa, as basically you're the pescatarian. So am I hearing that there ain't no oxtails in this damn house?
There is oxtail because that's one of my number. Well, jerk chicken and curd chicken, but oxtail people, when I do events and I don't have oxtail, they're like, oh my God, you don't have oxtail. We do cook oxtail, and there's a vegan version that I fix for my household. So
what?
There's a
vegan version. Now, what? How do you do that? Don't say it.
No, I'm sorry. There's a vegan version that I came up with a recipe that
we don't eat the processed vegan foods like that.
we don't eat the processed vegan food that's store bought. We don't, because it has too much sodium. Number one.
Wow.
Show high blood pressure, healthy living. We're promoting that. Every once in a while, I'm not gonna lie, I'll go to Whole Foods and I have a burger, a plant-based burger. It's not bad, and I'll eat half of it, but it's loaded with sodium. So
it is.
Yeah.
We did a Veguary challenge, and I got tricked because Bootsy, I think I told you, I'm like, we're doing the vegan whatever, and I just happened to check my blood pressure because I was eating more of that processed food than I'd ever eaten before, and my pressure was so high it took a day and a half to come back down.
Oh wow, that's not good.
And I was scared because I was like, imagine if I hadn't have just taken my blood pressure I just randomly took it, Wow. And so that's something to think about. And so, Chef Lesa, how can we get your food?
1 second. I'm gonna. I don't want to forget. Garlic is really good in reducing the blood pressure. What you want to do? I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you. We grew up on that. A piece of ginger, and as strong as you can take it underneath your tongue, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn really bad. And trust me, within 20 minutes, you take your pressure, it'll be down. Along with water, a lot of water. So the garlic, you can put garlic in your teas. So that would help also.
Now what about now? Hold on now. With the breath though, Chef Lesa, how do we get the breath back after the garlic?
Yeah.
Mint.
But they made a new blood pressure medicine with garlic in it. Yeah.
And I heard they have a blood pressure medicine with garlic in it, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been taking garlic gummies lately to help my blood pressure.
Do the fresh garlic. That's better.
But with plant-based, like it's a mixture of we increase a lot of raw foods, but then we also do the tofu's not as processed, but don't buy the plant-based meats because those are like full of sodium. But pastas and the fruits and vegetables. Yeah.
Okay, so my question about tofu is then what is your theory on what a lot of vegans say that you should not do what is tofu?
Soy.
It's false.
Soy. Yeah.
Because I have a sensitive digestion.
It's false because my daughter, I have a very very sensitive stomach wall. My daughter,
tofu is fine.
And it's fine. It's just people
the
are like,
complaint with soy, Bootsy, is soy with men. The estrogen qualities of soy, and so that's the thing with men that you have to be careful of. Just like with men and iron, men over 40 years old, you got to be careful with taking iron because that increases your risk. So there's a little nuance. There's little nuances for men in soy.
I didn't know that.
And so, where can we get your food, Chef Lesa?
So Instagram, when I do have the orders pouring in, I'll use a commercial kitchen, take the orders, and then they'll pick it up, or I can drop it off. So that's what we're working on, getting somewhere close by where people can just come and grab and go. And in the meantime, it's special events and office parties, like my attorney's office. He booked me for a couple of dates, so I'm working on that in Rockville. Birthday parties.
That's next week, though. Yeah.
And that's next week. Yeah. So whenever you're ready, like this food right now, unfortunately, I'm gonna ask if anybody wants it, they can get it.
I want it.
Eat it. We'll do the vegetables, but and they can have it.
Typically dinners are like Friday through Saturday.
Because I just did it for the show. So anybody wants
What is your IG, Chef Lesa? Because we still haven't got your IG page yet.
_ Taste of Paradise.
_ Taste of Paradise.
Taste of Paradise. Okay, I got it. Just wanted to make sure.
Well, Neffy and Lesa, you guys have been a godsend. So glad we connected on Instagram. And
you've had my food before. Remember, Mark? You and Allison, I came down to the station.
That's right. It was amazing. They went through that food, didn't they, Lesa?
Yes. I see Allison in the mall all the time.
Chef Lesa, Bootsy, Chef Lesa brought it, and then the hyenas went through the food. It's so funny how people be like, all the rules and regulations, when that food comes, it goes out the window and everybody's eating.
Exactly. So I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram, but as my husband would say, it's not the followers that's getting your bill paid. You know what I mean? So they don't know you, or they're not familiar with you because they feel like you're not popular enough. They don't want to try it. But as soon as they try it, they love it.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Look at Neffy getting mad. Look, let's keep it real though. Chef Lesa, you have Neffy, the split because you do have Taste of Paradise and you do have your other Instagram. So here's the beauty of it. We're going to be a vehicle to push it out there. Yes, Lord. And so
thank you so much.
And let's start with the live broadcast from your space in in May, probably, because April's almost booked up. But thank you again. Any final words, Neffy? Any final words, Chef Lesa?
Thank you so much.
No, we appreciate it.
Opportunity that you have given me, and I just pray that things blow up from now on.
They are.
It will.
And Neffy, what about you, Neffy? Any final words?
No, it's all about her, but of course, I mean, anything she does, I'm right behind her. We appreciate the opportunity. Can't thank you enough. It's been amazing, and we just hope that we can continue to connect, and she'll be a force in the DMV area with her food soon. So that's
definitely. And Neffy, with that voice, you're gonna be a force too.
Yeah, Neffy. You're supposed to be doing media, Neffy. I don't know what's happening around here, but we're going to connect these worlds.
Well, she does social media and marketing, so she's got that. Thanks, ladies. Have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Neffy and Chef Lesa joining us. And you can't, Bootsy, you can't beat that, man. You cannot beat delicious food, great content. And Bootsy, it is true. Like, last time we were in Jamaica, I was talking to the driver and he was breaking down a history of African American, basically Africans in America and the world. And what I thought about Bootsy was, people of color, Africans in other countries, they learn more about the history of the African in the world than we do here. And a lot of it is because the white supremacy here is based on ignorance, right? And everything, if people know the truth, then it changes everything. You can't put the wool over the eyes even of the white people when you tell the truth, right?
Right.
And so that's why right now, they're doing this whole,
critical
fake,
race theory.
Yeah, they're doing this fake because because the thing about it is the history in America, Bootsy, is so ridiculous.
Right.
And it's so, we were talking off air the other day, Bootsy, and it hit me. I was trying to think of the word. We were talking on the phone, and I was trying to think of the word of what it was. Like we were talking about how on our show, we just have these great moments. Every day it's a great moment. Right. And what it is, Bootsy, hit me was because I was listening to some other radio shows of people that we know that are famous and are very wealthy. And what I thought about, Bootsy, was we're in a world where they're trying to strip everybody of being authentic.
Right.
Right. Everybody, and Bootsy, like music's a great microcosm, right? So music, look at your man who just won a Grammy. The director on one of those late night shows. You know my man from New Orleans.
CK. John Baptiste.
John Baptiste, right?
Yes.
So here's John Baptiste, who was raised in the culture, the deep, rich musical culture of New Orleans. He
generations too.
Hands down, a beast on multiple instruments, right. And his musical knowledge is on a whole other planet. Right?
Absolutely. But he's up there with me. He's almost as good as me, but go ahead.
But that's not what people know him. We know him for that because we're fans of it, and we're fans of musicians and fans of music and fans of history. Most people just know him as a guy that wears the funny hair and the funny clothes on the show, and now is dancing around, hopping around, whatever. You know what I mean? It's almost like that part of it is secondary.
Right.
And it's
I will say this about him. What I'm happy for him about is that he got to come as he was. He literally got to present it in a real organic New Orleans fashion. Yeah. He didn't have to compromise. What I'm excited about, what he did was he got to really present himself, and then they got to either take it or leave it, which I was happy for him about, because as you know, with black folks, that's not always the case.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And definitely that. But I'm just saying, sadly, the part, and again, well, let's keep it real. He communicates in a way that is non-threatening. He's aligned with the right people. There's a whole bunch of other factors that are there.
CBS loves him. CBS loves him.
Exactly. And he gets the vouch. And so I'm just
saying, Gayle King is his best friend.
I was trying to use him as just an analogy of how, again, but when we talk about music, though, at the Grammys and in the real categories and real music and real art, he is one of the few that actually fits in that box of true artist expression. He really is that who has the goods. A lot of those people who got awards did not and do not. And the music industry, it isn't what it used to be, and it's getting further and further away of what it used to be. And just like personalities, people that they hold up as family men, people that they hold up as blah, 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 whatever cat, they're really not that. They're kind of that, and they just fit into this kind of category. They're not really genuinely authentic, and I think that's why our show we're having so much fun and having these great moments. Now, it hasn't translated into a billion viewers, but again, we're not worried about that. We're really focused on trying to put out good information, having fun, and being authentic. And so that's
and enlightening you as well. Because the one thing that I've been getting is, even today, I learn something every day. I am enlightened. I get a different perspective. I get to, okay, well, let me research this. So I think that's the other plus about this show is the fact that we are organically trying to enlighten people and share information on a daily basis.
Definitely. And the end of the day, we can celebrate being authentic. And we just want everybody else to celebrate it, as we just saw with Neffy and Chef Lesa. That was just hey, that's mom and daughter in classic conversations. And so we're offering that to anybody out there, especially. I guess reason I brought it up, Bootsy, because I just wanted just to remind people that don't get caught up in the hype, because there's so much hype out there now,
right?
And it's more like authenticity and even authentic questions. I was on a call the other day, and it was great because they were talking politics, and it was good, Bootsy, because they were getting down to the real, like what's real in politics. Talking about the what percentage of the minority contracts are being fulfilled. You have this magical 20% number that the politicians has talked about forever, and it's never there, Bootsy. It's like a magical, they run on it, but it never changes. And here's the part that's so crazy. If you subtracted, and this is all across the country, right? This magical 20% minority participation that's set up, right? But the news never talks about it. If you subtracted white women from that fulfillment that's this 20% they're trying to get to, if you subtracted white women, because that's what they're doing, they're awarding the contract to a white woman, not a person of color, for fulfillment. So let's say the fulfillment still is around 13%. If you subtracted the white people who have women who have contracts, is probably down to about 3 or 4%. So every year across the country, these fake ass politicians run and they make all these promises and nothing ever changes. So the question becomes, Bootsy, as the public, why do we keep on re-electing the same old BS, regardless of
with
party.
The same playbook and with the same playbook as well, which is interesting. You can remember when Charlemagne was saying all of that about we need to ask Joe Biden for exactly what it is we want, and let's not be so quick just to go to Democrat. I think people was really not understanding of that, even when he made the comment, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. But I think that point that you're making is we need to have more discussions and really lay out exactly what our demands and what we would like to see being done, but also do a better job of holding them accountable for it when they don't.
Exactly. And I think also you can't become, and I think that's what Charlemagne and a lot of black folks get caught up in, you can't become a pawn either, though. Like at the end of the day, politics, just think about it when you think about it.
I don't think he was a pawn. I don't think Charlemagne was being a pawn.
Well, here's the pawn part is you become a weapon that the Republican Party used against, because the dissension now is used against you. At the end of the day, it has to be a thorough analysis. It has to be a thorough analysis, because this is what it is. Because people are ignorant, and people, when I say ignorant, just don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know.
Right. So
what happens is you end up being a pawn, because people can use that ignorance against you. Because like you said, Charlemagne, Killer Mike, all these people were saying that let's hold the Democratic
Party. Let me ask you a question. As a journalist, accountable. I say
hold them accountable, which holding people accountable. You're absolutely right. There's nothing wrong with that. But the part two of that is you have to then be participating. You have to organize and have an organization, a power base, and that power base can then make a difference.
Let me ask you a question, Mark.
And making points, you're just playing politics.
Now, let me ask you a question. As a highly skilled, successful journalist who's been in multiple media markets, when is a good time to have the discussion? Because what I thought Charlemagne was doing was, I felt like, and here's the thing, it's almost like when they was like, well, well, it ain't the right time to have a black president, or this ain't the right place to protest Black Lives Matter. I think what he did, what a lot of people is, they're making the point is, at some point we're gonna have to have this uncomfortable conversation because what you said in the beginning of this is, for the last 20 years, ain't none of this stuff coming to our way. So my question to you would be, as a journalist and being in Charlemagne's seat before, then when is the good time to have the uncomfortable conversation?
It's not on your platform. The time to have the comfortable conversation is in local, like you say, you start with a local conversation. When you have a national platform and you're raising these questions and you're not, it's almost like you're raising questions, but you're not backing anything up. You know what I mean? You're not holding anybody. You're not holding people. What do the kids say? You're not using that same energy on all of these other conversations. So Charlemagne, you're not using any of this energy on the music that you're playing every day on your show that basically is sending kids to prison. So you need to, before you start focusing on that, you need to ask yourself those same questions where you in the space that you're in. And so that's all I'm saying. It's like, and that's the problem.
But you made a great point when you started. You said, Marc Clarke, because we can rewind the tape, you said for the last 20, 30 years, nothing has changed. We're tired of the same old. Yeah. So I guess my question to you is, if you were Charlemagne, when would have had the conversation or broke out to the discussion to make everybody think that?
Here's what it is. And I had a conversation the other day when I told you this political conversation that got me thinking. It was, the beauty of the conversation was, it was a young person, and let's say that young person represents Charlemagne, and it was three older black lawyers in Baltimore, right? And what those people understand is what really needs to happen for something to change, right? So the young person charges into the conversation with ignorance. And that's what I'm saying. Charlemagne is there because he's ignorant. When I say ignorant, what I mean is you don't know all the nuances of how politics work, right? So you have the biggest microphone, but you have the littlest knowledge of how things work. And that's set up for a reason, right? So what he's saying is not wrong. You need to hold every elected official, including Democrat or Republican or Independent, Green Party, whatever you want to call it. You need to hold everybody to a certain standard, right? But the question then becomes, do you know how the machine works, though? So if you don't know how the machine works, the first step is you're talking about people. Let's talk about the black community. Because the system set it up a certain way, we have very little unity on anything. So therefore, even in local elections, school board, dog catcher, city council, it's hard to get us to move on anything because we're all over the place, right? So all we're doing is having a conversation. So the first step, if you had a big microphone and you're somebody of influence, would try to be like getting that together, where you could really actually move it this way. I'm just saying what ended up happening was you created, so you already have people who don't participate, who don't believe in the system.
Right.
You already have people who already, it's almost like when you expose, and that's what is happening also. Nowadays, there's so much information that people are like, hey, did you know that so-and-so and so-and-so? And that right there will stop. You deal with young people, Bootsy.
No,
that'll stop a whole group of people.
I 100% understand.
I'm not voting at all, right?
Right.
And so the part that's so crazy is so now they're not participating at all. So they're not a threat at all. They're not even
engaged. They're not even
engaged. And that's what again the Republican Party is a master of, is they're on message. They're on message. Donald Trump, the beauty of Donald Trump is that he knows how to activate chaos in front of ignorant people, because he knows that,
and distract them.
And I can say anything, right? I can say something. I can say a lie to Bootsy's face for 10 days in a row, And anybody, on this show, we can say a lie every day on this show, and there's a certain percentage of people who will believe the lie.
Right.
And that's what Donald Trump understood and understands, and that's why he still has the keys to the Republican Party, because there's so many people who are angry, white folks who are angry, scared, disenchanted. They are on board with him. You know, he's not trying to, he lies to your face. It don't matter. It don't matter. He's on message. We're not on message. We're all over the place. That's all.
Right. Last thing before we go, it's now 10:57. We're closing up on this amazing week that we've had. I would love to know, as a father of 3 amazing, intelligent, educated daughters, along with a wife, what is your thoughts on the confirmation of the first Black African-American female to the Supreme Court? Because I know that must be deep in your household. That could be beneficial to even the futures. I would love to know, as the father of 3 amazing, intelligent, articulate daughters, one who I feel like you should go to jail for not making her do media, Sky Money. What is your thoughts on this confirmation yesterday? What did it mean to you?
No, it was great. I mean, it was great. I mean, I'm happy, but again, knowing what we know, and see, this is the problem. This is the problem with this show. It always gets me in trouble, Bootsy, because I'm trying to do other things, and you end up asking me a question. And
I thought this was a softball question. I thought it was a softball question. That's why I was moving out, man.
It's great. It's great, but it's sadly politics as usual. It can be, I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is what it is. This is what it is, Bootsy. And this is great. This is the same feeling I guess I was trying to articulate with Charlemagne but I didn't, right? I wasn't doing a good job. This might be, this analogy might help more, right?
Okay.
This is where I am. This is where I am from a standpoint of, I'm just sick of the BS, right? We have this amazing day where an African-American woman who has been confirmed as a Supreme Court justice in a country where Africans were brought over as chattel. So that would be like a horse or a cow being elected to the Supreme Court.
Right.
That's what America's plans were for Africans in America, to never participate, to never be a part of this, to never have stakes, to never own land, to never be human, to never have rights. That was the goal. That was what America wanted for the African in America. And now we have this historic day where this sister is now a Supreme Court justice. On this same day, the remaining Republicans walked out making a statement on her confirmation. They walked out, they disrespectfully walked out. What was it, 3? Was it 3 Republicans that voted for her?
Yeah, it was 3.
3. They walked out as an example of their frustration, an example of their disapproval of this woman whose track record as a judge
is impeccable.
Is
the
impeccable.
Most qualified ever.
More qualified than anybody on the who's currently on the Supreme Court.
Ever.
And they walked out. So why, Bootsy? Back to the show. That's my point about Charlemagne. That's what we need to be talking about.
Right.
That's what we need to be talking about. We're talking about this. We need to be talking about this.
Right. I agree.
That's unacceptable. Where's all those people that talk about America and pride, all those stupid ass questions that they asked her, this woman who had to prove herself to you bunch of weirdos, to you bunch of racist, unintelligent, only there because of hype,
privilege,
doofuses.
Privileges.
She had to sit there and take your stupid ass questions, and then when she became a Supreme Court justice, you're gonna walk your ass out the door Where's the news coverage on that? Where's
That's
the
a fact.
conversations about that?
That is a
Fox
fact,
News,
bro.
where's all your
That's a
questions
fact,
about,
bro.
I don't know about character and all this kind of BS?
That's a
What
fact.
kind of character does that show?
That's a fact. That
As
is
a
100%
human
a fact.
being, you're walking your ass out of this woman to show disapproval. Why? What are you disapproving of? What are you disapproving because she's what? And so that's what I'm saying, Bootsy. So when you are talking about Charlemagne holding, that's what I'm saying. There's too much BS going on. It's like when you watch, what's going on with the war. It's war. Right. This is what we do, what we did, what we're doing to other countries as we speak.
Well, that's not okay. So we're now walking down the path. We're now walking down that path. We're going to have to erase the show again. So it is now Friday. It's 11:02. We thank you all for enjoying this week. This has been an amazing week. We hope you guys got a whole lot out of it. It was so much informative. Please feel free to go back and look at the YouTube videos. There's a lot of things that you can be inspired about, but there's a lot of things that you can also be enlightened about. The views of the program of the Marc Clarke Show do not reflect the views of Bootsy Vegas. No, I'm joking.
So and that's what it, Bootsy. So again,
I got you.
Charlemagne, like you say, holding the president, but where's the holding? Where's the industry holding these artists to a standard? This music is sending people to jail. That's all it's doing. What you're talking about? Selling drugs, selling guns, buying guns, having sex, busting it wide open. And again, like I said, that song the other day, Bootsy said, it's funny because a friend of mine, I never forget, when the girls were little, I started crying. I was in my car. I'm listening to this song with Twister, and the girls, you're in the car, the music starts, and she says, I need a daddy. I need a daddy. I need a daddy to rain down on me. It's about a girl stripping in a club. She needs a sugar daddy to strip. And the girls were little. I started crying. I was working in Baltimore in Interculture. Wow. Shout out to Sophia Robb. When I told him this story, I was crying.
It made you think about it differently.
To rain down on me,
man.
And then, like I told you, that song the other day.
I had that same moment.
New ass, new tits. You a bad bitch. You're a 10. Keep saying it. And so these girls that are listening believe to be a 10, you got to get surgery. And so where's Charlemagne is that? Who's holding anybody to fire on that? That's what I'm saying. It's like
I had that same moment with my nieces. So for people who do know me personally, they know that my older sister, I'm really close with her kids. Like I've taken an active role. My older sister had 2 daughters, and I remember them. They were 12 and 10, and they were singing Soldiers. If your status ain't hood, you get known to carry big. And I looked over at them in my car and was like, hold on. That was when it clicked into me as well. So it's interesting that we do have those moments when we have daughters. But I think the amazing thing is, and which I do agree with Charlemagne on this, is we all should be able to have the discussion and then get something out of it. So that is what I agree with.
No, the discussion is fine. But I'm just saying
I agree though.
It's like, you know what it is? This is all it is. It's context. That's what's missing. Context.
Right.
Context. It's like some people say, like the other day, that same conversation. No. So what happens is, and again, what I love about our show, we have time. So some people in business say, when Trump was president, it was better for black folks, right? Now, when you say that, if you don't give me all the context, I won't understand where you're coming from. And so what I learned in this conversation I listened to the other day, Bootsy, was what they were saying was, when you're talking about fulfilling those minority, the set-asides, when the Republicans are in, there's a tendency for them to fulfill them more than the Democrats, because the Democrats do not have the pressure, because, like you said, most black folks just going to vote Democratic in their sleep.
Right.
And so now that conversation is different than if you just randomly just say, right? Yeah, we did better with da-da-da-da. Because when you say that, you have to look at January 6th. You have to look at all the
Charlottesville.
You have to
Charlottesville.
look, exactly.
Find people on both sides.
The climate of the country
that he created.
You can't, and just like when people would say that Obama didn't do anything for black folks. But again, you can't say that. And then Bootsy, as you know, because you have kids and you work with kids, my daughters grew up in a world where there was a black president.
Right.
So you can't tell me.
And a black female vice president.
And you can't tell me you can't say that and not put it in context, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know, he didn't do this and that, but then but they also grew up, Bootsy, with probably the most racist energy that we've seen since the 60s with a Trump.
Right.
And my kids' experience in high school, at their high school, was much more racially divisive than I ever experienced as a 55-year-old black man.
Wow.
So these are all things, and so when we kind of just throw things out there, that's all I'm saying, Bootsy, and that's what happens. You know, you can't, if you don't have enough time to explain what you're talking about, or you just have one point, then it ends up just being kind of like, what now? And that's all I'm saying. So it's not a beef with Charlamagne. I understand exactly what they're doing, what they're faced with. I just want that. So again, that's the beauty of our show. I know I went on a tangent. I haven't had my coffee.
It's Friday. You got a lot to think about. Yeah, I got you.
Well, I think I have one less thing to think about. Thanks to you, Bootsy. Thanks, man.
Oh, wow.
Have a great weekend. If you're watching this in real time, thank you so much. Thanks for, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow us. If you are not, if you're watching this and recording, it's the same thing. Again, have a great weekend, everybody. Man, thanks, family, Carla, Jarrell, all family, y'all for riding with us on our tangents. You know how we do. You know how Uncle Mark does. And look at Bootsy showing off his teeth. Once again, Bootsy, you've been showing them teeth off all week. And they're so white. They're so white.
I know, bro. They're lined up and everything.
Lined up. All right, y'all. Be good. Bootsy, any parting words? You just gave them. You tried to cover me. Any parting words?
I've already done it. Thank you for subscribing. Please look back at the videos and we'll see you Monday.
Keep on walking with your head held high. Keep on talking like you heard it from the sky. We ain't gonna let them bring us down. You know we come too far to give up now.
Jim, did you talk to him about the money?
We talked about this. Remember?
About what? No, I remember. I said I want my money today. What did they say about it?
They said they don't have it. They said net 45.
Shit, they don't have it. Net 45. My ass. I'm gonna pull out my 45, Jimmy. They're fucking with me because they know they can. If I was a white woman, I'd been paid before I went on stage. If I was a white man, I'd been paid 2 fucking weeks ago. Jimmy, I want my fucking money, Jimmy.
If you keep it down, maybe you could get it sooner.
Fuck you, Jimmy. You got one fucking job, Jimmy. Give me my fucking money. I'm not playing with them, fucking around with them. God damn it. No matter how hard I work, it never matters.
Look, Joe, is there any way we can get Miss Fresh her money today? Over my dead body, Jimmy. Hell no.
That'd be 10 times better just to be treated as half as good. I'm the best act they've had on this show. The best act. Still, I get paid the least.
And you tell her and her crew members, read up on those contracts. If they can read. She is goddamn lucky she's getting any exposure at all today.
Be grateful. Put your head down. Stay humble. They don't know about me. They got the wrong motherfucker.
You got me? Yeah. I don't have time for this diva shit. All right, everybody, 30 seconds. Let's go. Come on. Time is money.
Wrong one. Operator?
This is she. How can I help you?
Get me Big Reggie.
Yes, hold on.
Hello.
Hey, babe.
You all right?
We got a problem.
What?
Yeah. These motherfuckers trying to short us.
Hold on. What?
You know where I'm at.
Well, I'm on my way up there right to hell now.
And ladies and gentlemen, your host of Vintage Sony.
Right on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vintage Soul. I am the host with the most, Rufus the Genius Robinson III, and that's the word. I have the pleasure, the honor to bring to you the fox of all foxes, the diva of divas, the golden voice of choice, the vintage lady herself. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mumu Fresh and the Freshettes.
Thank you.
Rapping for the readers, skanking in Adidas from Rodeo to the Alameda. I'm your favorite teacher's favorite teacher. Smarter than your average Yogi Bear, follow the leader. Fancy like smoked paprika. Truffle butter from the gutter, glad to meet ya. I'm that juju that'll free ya. Innovative, ultra creative, entrepreneur. I can lead you to the river. Give you something, man, a tongue I can't deliver. Ooh, cause I feel like heaven. Tickle your mental and make the blood leaven. Boy, I'm lucky number 7. I'm the golden goose, and that's why you want me pregnant. Sweet like a llama in pajamas with an attitude. But on my mama, I ain't mad at you. I'm too busy eating busy like a rabbit do. Coming through your city, taking heads like a cannibal. What the grandma do? It's absurd. I flip verbs tangible. Flow so flammable.
I ain't come to play with y'all. I came to take it all. You won't be sorry that I came. Even more sorry when I'm gone.
You know what it is. I get back to the money. Ain't no my biz. I get back to the money. Give me a kiss. I get back to the money. Back to the money. Back to the money. I make love and then I get back to the money. Take dubs and then we get back to the money. Shake the club, leave with a bag full of money. Bag full of money. Bag full of money. Getting back to the money. I leveled up, niggas think I'm acting funny. Nah, just a little grown for the okey doke. If I ain't sorta rich, then I'm sorta broke. Everybody love you when they can use you. When the shoes go to the other foot, they choose to move through like they never knew you. Boo-hoo, bitch, call me a yoo-hoo.
Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. It seems singer Mumu Fresh is wreaking havoc on set, repeatedly threatening to pull out her 45, and I quote, "Up everyone in this bitch. They done got me up. I am not the mother one today. I am Mumu mother Fresh."
I'm through with you cause your attitude is boo-boo. Fuck you, pay me susu. I stand out like tutus. Fuck up a colonizer like I'm a Zulu. Give me a minute while I'm buffering Hulu. Lay back, stack 'em up, racks and buku. I give a good word, but I'm not a preacher. I'm good in every hood, even non-believers. Catch the Holy Spirit when I get to rapping. I'm tapped in like 4 IVs, feel a drip. I'm so cold to make you sick. Beat make you wanna dip, sir, like a chip.
I ain't come to play with y'all. I came to take it all. You gon' be sorry that I came. Even more sorry when I'm gone.
You know what it is. I get back to the money. Ain't no my biz. I get back to the money. Give me a kiss. I get back to the money. Back to the money. Back to the money. I make love and then I get back to the money. Take dubs and then we get back to the money. Shake the club, leave with a bag full of money. Bag full of money. Bag full of money.